EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Located in Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports, and alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
Settles in over the putt. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Appears to be tracking well.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
What a drive. Just tattooed that.
Second shot, Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's no snack, though. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. What a great tournament finish. This one is in the books, and look who finished on top of the leaderboard.
Rich, this has to go down as a classic. Our champion was simply on fire. And I'm looking forward now to see how next week pans out.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Action continues at the 7th. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, turns out all right.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
About 25 feet from the cup. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Whoa, that was unexplainable. I thought that was easily going to be a par.
They'll have to focus, try to make bogey. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Gives back a shot and now drops into 3rd place after the bogey. Rounding out the front 9 here at Oakmont, Frank, it looks to be straight away, uphill. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, there certainly is. Years gone by, this was a par 5 for the US Opens of yesteryear. Par 5 still for the members. And the reason why is it's a little bit uphill, semi-blind tee shot, bunkers left and right, and of course rough if you miss those. This is one of those holes, even though it's a par 4 now, you miss the fairway here, you are not reaching this green into.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. It's a pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up. Really. This is an awkward length.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting. And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par 4, 462 yards.
Yeah, this one can play a lot of different distances. And the reason why is if you can sneak a driver to catch the downslope, it can run all the way down. You can have just a wedge in here. If you're not as fortunate and you leave it hanging up on that hill, it plays a good 200 yards for your second. seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. This one requires a little bit of focus. Wow, I thought he made that. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Just a couple of feet. Whew, this is tough to watch.
I've already got my eyes covered.
Pretty short hole here at the 11th. It's only 379 yards, par 4.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital F.
Busted that. That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Ah, that hurts. Wow. These putts keep the round together.
Well, Rich, when you consider how many people started the week off, just sneaking in the top 10 right now, that's something to be proud of.
That was a decent par right there. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Oh, if this is up, it's good. That was nuclear. Second shot. Should be safely on deck.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank starting to make the move.
Leaderboard very volatile at the moment, so a lot of move in that middle piece of the leaderboard. Top 20 so far.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game. Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Frank, right where you want to be at the midway point of a tournament.
Yeah, you know your game's solid. The focus is more on the leader and that you can just go out and play. Excellent position to be in.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Good lie in the fairway, good chance to make something happen here. Frank, so many variables in any golf shot, but one of the most important, obviously, is club selection.
People often just blindly grab a club, right? They look at a yardage, they go, I'm going to hit the same club. But what about if you're uphill, downhill, end of the breeze, all those other things? And where's the flag?
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason. Not just an eagle, too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
We're at the fifth hole now. Short hole, but Frank, pretty challenging, even at 382 yards.
Yeah, you've got the bunkers are staggered. The first three coming down the left side, and then they start to link up with the ones on the right side that just sort of narrow this fairway up. It just sort of changes the strategy. But if you can just sort of thread an iron up there, that's the main thing. Because this green is going to be very narrow in the front and then slope away to the player's left. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from three different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Has his par. And now to the par 3/6 here at Oakmont, measuring in at just under 200 yards.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frank, that looked good to me. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Did the job right there. Par 4 7th, 434 yards.
That club must have melted after that one.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. aggressive, goes to 3 under with that birdie for the tournament. The par 3 8th. This is where Angel Cabrera, Sunday at the U.S. Open in 2007, made a deuce, and it was set up to play at 300 yards on that final day. This is all you want, Frank, in a par 3.
Yeah, it was the first 300-yard par 3 ever in a U.S. Open. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here.
Another good swing, another good approach shot.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at 8th. So a tester from 4 feet.
In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good, solid par right there. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie, that's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Good putt. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards.
Happiness is a long, 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 long walk after that one.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Birdie try up next. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
When you consider the length of that putt, it's a good putt.
These putts keep the round together. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away. A little bit more hope than determination in that putt.
Not a problem from there, right in the middle. On to 16 now, a 231-yard par 3. Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole, and you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
Getting set now over the putt. That is a solid par putt. 17th hole at Oakmont, par 4. Only 313 yards, and yet, Frank, it was so pivotal. The last U.S. Open played here in 2007.
It was pivotal for a lot of different reasons. Strategy being one. Some elected to go down the right side with just a mid-iron. Others went directly at the green and did not get the ball up and down. Furyk and Tiger Woods come to mind in that situation. You can see the green's just perched up there. If you do lay it up, you don't quite get a full look at this green because you have to lay it up down that right side.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Had to be a misread.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. And what was he thinking there? Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
So playing the third shot right now after having gone OB. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man. You can't miss him from that distance. Frank, that is absolutely demoralizing. A big number, a double bogey at this stage of the tournament. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's the opening round of the Northeast Invitational. New course to most of the golfers on tour, this challenging layout just opened in 2015. Today we're along the east coast of Maine. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobila. We'll be calling all the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point.
Another great design from Brand Patel, and they really threw the boat out here. Some excellent choice of holes, and you got to see the changes in elevation. You get this on a windy day, and of course 7,700 yards will play even longer than that. A nice calm day though, Rich, and you really can shoot a good score out here.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Action continues at the 7th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. And it makes the green in regulation. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It is only 165 yards. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
Now to the par 5 ninth. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult three-shotter than what you were anticipating.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
And that one ends up about 25 feet from the hole. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just 5 feet left. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from.
So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to looks like. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Settles in over the putt. Frank, you know full well this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Filling it up today. Beautiful putt. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie.
Oh, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Now on the 10th hole here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point as we begin our trek homeward here at this magnificent golf course. This one puts a little fear into you, Frank. I'm looking at a par 4 and it's almost 600 yards. Help.
He goes after him like he is here.
That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow.
Long just meant longer.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. And getting ready for the putt. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a couple of feet. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th.
Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Well, hello there. That's an eagle.
Might be languishing in the middle of the pack, but please celebrate that.
The 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage, that hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. A good effort, a good par putt. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, you know, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's third round coverage of the Northeast Invitational. Headed for the bunker? Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging. No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch up.
All set to go. We take you to the first hole. The turn now. 72 holes. It's a lot of golf. Third round about to get underway.
Yeah, played well through the first 2 days. Very much in contention. But it's still a new day. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. Frank looks like maybe the greatest bunker player of all time right there.
Well, he's making a name for himself today. You could certainly put him up there with Gary Players, Severiano Ballesteros. That was just a great bunker shot.
Did the job right there. Now the third hole here at Lighthouse Point, par 5, 566 yards. Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards. Hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Appears to be tracking well. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Settles in over the putt. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Fourth hole is 411 yards, par 4. And, Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and take a few pictures. The views are absolutely stunning. Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
That's a good par there, Rich.
So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes...
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Birdie try up next. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Almost. Wow.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you're going to be looking at, that front left section.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Stroked that with authority. 15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand, left, and that little pop bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really the only problem is if you go long.
Good contact, good result.
That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. That was not a very good read right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. 17th hole is another par 5 over 600 yards. You get a terrific view of Juniata Crossway Bridge just ahead. And Frank, if you jump over that bridge, you can get a dynamite lobster roll at Nielsen's Lobster Shack. I don't know if you've ever had it.
Oh,
but
it's one of the best.
It just adds to sort of the charm of this area. But what a hole this is.
S-shaped par 5. You can see it bending to the right off the tee, and then the hole starts to go the other way with a magnificent view of the bridge you're just referring to. Reachable for the longest hitters, but once again, avoid the bunkers, and they're all down the right side. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. And that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason, not just an eagle too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you, at this par 4 finishing hole?
Ah, nice.
Looks good. He has just hammered this drive here at the... And now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Should be safely on deck.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie, and getting ready for the putt. Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. Now in the top 25.
Par 5 second hole, 540 yards, birdie opportunity, Frank.
Birdie or eagle, but that second shot all the way across water. So you're going to have to hit a good tee shot to go for this par 5 and 2.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Surely not.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Huge chance to climb the leaderboard. A putt for eagle. Makes an eagle to move into the top 25. Hole number 3 here at TPC Boston. It is a par 3. Frank, are you happy walking off with par here?
Well, if you've birdied the first 2 holes, there's a chance here to be greedy. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
So a tester from 4 feet. Has to feel good at 3 under par in the early going. And now back over to the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. The hole's not over.
Just a well-played approach shot right there. Only about 10 feet away and a good look at birdie here. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Now putt for par.
These putts keep the round together. Three under on the day. Back on the tee here at the fifth. Frank, this one is not drivable.
Oh, that's for sure. Two bunkers. The one that most of the players really worry about is the one down the left side. 300 yards to carry that.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help then.
Frank, the TPC Boston really starts to show its teeth here in the fifth hole.
Yeah, beautiful hole. That green up ahead, though, there's three different sections. Obviously, the easy section is that middle one where it just pokes out to the left.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Playing this par four, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And he's made it onto the green now. He has this attempt for par. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under.
That was a great first day up there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship.
That's an absolute beauty.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Now on to the fifth, and Frank, a pretty challenging par four.
Yeah, gentle dogleg to the left. There's a short bunker on the right. That's not really in play. You can just see that one on the left. Ideally, just want to hit something around 330 yards to this very difficult green. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Frank, the FedEx Cup playoffs have become so big, so important, and TPC Boston hosting one of those playoff events.
And a chance to get some momentum, too. You've just come off Barclays, so if you can start to string together a couple of good weeks in a row, you'll more than guarantee a start at the Tour Championship. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work than you had hoped for just to make the par. Has his par. Ready now at the sixth. It is a tricky 465-yard par 4.
Yeah, hit it through the chute. Water comes into play a little bit down the left if you're a long hitter.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity.
It's no snack, though.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. He's made it. Seventh hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 600 yards. What's the way to play it?
Just tee it up and hit it as hard as you can. Get this one on the fairway here, then you've got no problem carrying that huge cross bunker with your second shot.
Can't ask for much more here at the seventh. He has hit a good one. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Safely aboard. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Coming off the long par 5 7th, now a par 3, 213 yards. What's the 8th hole all about?
Another hole that picks with the same theme. Really want to fly this nice and high. That narrow part at the front of the green really is to be avoided unless the flag is there.
That will be a great look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh my gosh, that hurts. He'd settle for par here. Par bid here. That is a solid par putt right there. Frank, I love a hot dog and a soda at the turn. How hard is it to take a giant bite out of this 9th hole? Looks tough.
It is. Everything sort of bends where those 2 bunkers are, and that was sort of 350 yards to get past that. And there's an annoying little bunker that's about 30 yards short of this green. So you have to be precise with both the first and the second shot.
Frank, golf so often is a game of avoiding something. What do you want to stay away from here at the 9th?
You have to avoid that little pot bunker just short of this green. If the pin's at the back, it's fine. You can fly the ball into the middle of the green. But if the pin's on the front, just make sure you carry that little bunker. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
So 1 shot closer to the lead with that birdie. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live 3rd round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship. now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
Frank, the 14th, a shortish 495-yard hole.
Only because it's downhill. If you can get that ball running down the fairway, then it certainly sets up a good second shot into this stout par 4. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Necklace over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Good birdie right there, moving to third place on the leaderboard. All right, Frank, we're teed up at the 15th, and a lot to talk about with your caddy on this tee shot.
Yeah, which club, which line, series of bunkers down the left. That one short right doesn't really come into play. Another one, really, fairway first.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Moving on to 16 now. This is one where you sort of lick your chops, Frank, because it's pretty short, 161 yards. Where's the challenge here?
Where the fish go. That big lake on the left, that's the challenge. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, very impressive and on the move right now. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into two sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. On to the 18th and a big par 5 to finish out the round.
Yeah, fun way. Let's see. Course record 61. What can you do here?
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. He'll need to be strong with this. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. So close.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now at par.
Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to this moment right now.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. 115 to the hole. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Well, Frank, he needed that birdie. Had to have it.
Now only trailing by 2, Rich.
Frank, here at the 16th, you really see this sort of New England character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of 2-tiered green. And it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hans and Faxon have done to the golf course.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Just a pure strike, and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just 5 feet left. He'll take par and move on. Frank almost at the house, but still some work to do. 412-yard par 417.
Yeah, just poke something down that right side. Really, it's the second shot. You've got to worry about that big mound in the middle of the green.
Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part. This is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
Oh, he's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston has generated a lot of buzz through the years, hasn't it?
It has, and those changes have just made this finishing hole so much better. The fact that they've narrowed up the front of the green, they've made that left side more severe. Now you can't bail out on the left. If you do, it's an awful little pitch or even a putt up the hill.
The addition of that pot bunker, Frank, how has that changed the hole?
Well, if you stray off the tee or find one of those bunkers with your tee shot, you really have to be aware of exactly the distance that little pot bunker is away. Because if you just sort of whack it out of the bunker and lay it up there, you find the next bunker, then you're in trouble.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players. We saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Frank, back in 1998, by any chance, do you remember exactly how many golf balls John Daly hit into the water at the 6th?
It was half a dozen. Half a box of golf balls.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here.
Should be safely on deck.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Hard putt, soft hand, beautiful putt. Resuming the action here at EA Sports, let's go out to the 7th hole and pick up with our featured golfer. Our featured golfer, Frank, featured for a reason, playing excellent golf.
Yeah, the scorecard shows that, and really, in some respects, has not got the best out of it yet, but enough holes ahead to change that.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
Series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, how about the 8th par 4, one of the more intriguing setups?
Ideally, you want to just work your tee shot away from that bunker, but this is one fairway you must hit because it's one of the toughest second shots on the golf course. It is long and long, and that with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. It is the house that Arnold built, the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Arnold's summer home is actually in western Pennsylvania, Latrobe Country Club. That's where he grew up. He came to Central Florida in the 1970s and fell in love with this piece of ground. He bought it, and he's grown it ever since, and now it is host to one of the premier stops on the PGA Tour. Big, strong golf course. You have to really be a good ball striker and generally one of the longer hitters to be successful around here. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. It's a consistent theme here at Bay Hill, if you can carry it 300 yards.
Bay Hill always favors the longer hitter.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. And getting ready for the putt.
Good roll. Good putt.
Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. They've had some meat behind it.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
These putts keep the round together. On fire right now. 7 under par. Now to the 11th with water left, bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards. I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway just short of that second bunker. And it sits up 6 or a 7 up.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Here at the first, ready to get this round underway. How do you handle the 461-yard par 4, Frank?
2 choices, Rich. Dogleg left, so either lay it up at those 2 bunkers, which is about 285, or if you can hit a nice high draw, then just go for it. Nice.
Looks good. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
Back to the action here at the second. It's a par 3, demanding hole, Frank, isn't it?
Longest par 3 on the golf course. Slightly downhill, but you need every advantage here. It requires your best.
This one's looking good. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Frank, now to the third hole, and where's the trouble here? That's fairly obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one thing you don't want to remind yourself of. There's a bunker all the way down the right side. That's a good place to aim.
Caught that one flush, Frank. That was beautiful.
What was the movie again? Dead, solid, perfect.
Second shot here at the third.
One of the narrowest greens at Bay Hill. Water, as you can see on that left side. So for the faint of heart, you're going to miss, if anything, to that right side. And that's exactly where they put a little bunker. So be very straight on the second.
Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hit the ball in the right place there, and yep, good thing too. He's actually putting well.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, now to the fifth. What's the strategy here at this shorter par 4?
Well, if you want to flex your muscles, Rich, take it over that left bunker. With a little trailing breeze, you might even get close to the green. That's an absolute beauty.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, the par 5-6, this is the signature hole here at Bay Hill.
You've got to really pick a line here, Rich. There's a big pine tree down there. On that line, 260 yards gets it to the fairway.
How important, Frank, is the line off of this tee? Because if you hit it well, but you hit it a little too far left, you're probably going to be wet.
You've got to know exactly how far you carry that driver. Otherwise, you've got no idea which line to take. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though? Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big. That one is gone. OB. Third shot now after having gone OB.
Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, sir.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday.
And he has it for birdie.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the 3rd leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live 3rd round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Well, this is a player's nightmare, still in the bunker.
He's starting to fill up his shoes with sand.
So, Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. By getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Frank, as you step to the tee here at the 8th, what are you seeing?
Another hole that suits the long hitter, Rich. That bunker just over 300 yards. The further you get down there, the shorter club you have in over the water.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, it's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky. Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. They par yesterday, this one for birdie. Has it. That's birdie. It's a consistent theme here at Bay Hill, if you can carry it 300 yards.
Bay Hill always favors the longer hitter.
sets up well for a chance at the green here at the 9th.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This could be a good one. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
He's made it. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Just another solid shot, about 8 feet from the hole. Getting set now over the putt.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now to the par 4 11th, just a shade under 440 yards. Where are the difficulties here, Frank?
The water down the left, but the hole keeps going that way, almost in a semi-horseshoe fashion. 2 bunkers down the right, they always catch the straight tee. But once again, you don't have to hit driver here. You've got to get that ball in play.
That one is deep. Every bit of that ball. Second shot. Good look at the green. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. These putts keep the round together. And that's a birdie. And that wraps up the 3rd round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the 3rd leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, it hit the green. Well, this is always one of the toughest moments in any round. You've made a mistake, you hit it OB, you're disappointed, but you have to regroup, you have to focus, and try to get this next one in play. Now playing 4 after going OB on that previous shot. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Frank, I like a good par 3 over 200 yards, requiring that one good, clean strike. And here's a good case in point, 216 yards, all you want.
Yeah, bunkered at the back, bunkered to the left side, a little collection area to the right. So really, in the end, you've got one choice. That's hit your best.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
No, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. Frank, deep in the round at the 15th, you need to maybe make something happen. How difficult is that with such a huge dog leg here?
Once again, make sure you know the distance to carry the bunker or run out. You've got to play to your strength. Sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Birdie try up next.
Chance for back-to-back.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business.
Solid par.
The Bay Hill Club and Lodge features a really exciting finishing stretch. 16 is a reachable par 5. You'll see eagles and birdies there coming home. 17, a very difficult par 3 over the water. The bunker is there, takes an excellent shot. And then 18 is all you want. We know that with the water in front, that second shot which comes over the lake, and that's a hold-your-breath moment. It is a great finishing 3-hole stretch at Bay Hill. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Oh, my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
Frank, par 3 17. Daunting shot. What are you thinking as you step onto this tee?
Just make 3. 2 is a huge bonus. Take 3 in a heartbeat. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
You know, Tiger was born on the same day as LeBron James, December 30th. And he's had his share of slam dunks, especially on the 18th hole here at Bay Hill.
Yeah, he's just a perfect fit for the golf course. You'd think every now and again he fears left, but he doesn't fear left at Bay Hill. We've seen his best golf over the years, over the last 15 or so years. To win there 8 times, nobody's come close to that. Ernie Els, one of the great players in the world, has won it twice.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie to win the Orlando Classic.
Well, it was a tricky one, but it's in.
That has to feel so good. A big championship victory.